Season 6 and the brand new Call of Duty mobile update just dropped. That just means we have a handful of new buffs and nerfs to take a look at, as well as a brand new top 5 guns that you guys need to be using. So I'll be covering my go-to weapons for ranked based on the current meta, while also taking into consideration how easy a weapon may be to use for beginner, intermediate, and pro players. You guys could definitely trust me on my list, speaking from a top 400 leaderboard player, as well as a player who competed in last year's World Championship. So let's just say I know my guns. But of course, this wouldn't be a complete top 5 guns list without some honorable mentions. All very good guns that just barely didn't make the cut. However, before we get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, because 69% of you guys are not subscribed, which is just insanity. So make sure you guys sub and help me out. We are on our way to 300,000 subscribers. Now let's jump right into the top 5 list. Starting off hot, at number 5, we have the MG42. Just a side note, I will be adding every single build for each gun in the video, so make sure you guys stick around for that and try them out yourself. Alright, so the MG42, one of the newest weapons added to the game, but it definitely has earned its spot on this list. In my opinion, I see this gun a lot less now in ranked, probably because the other 4 weapons are just slightly better. But for all of you LMG users, this is definitely the go-to weapon. Obviously, depending on how you want to build this gun, you do have the ability to build it with 250 bullets in your mag. So you won't need to constantly reload, and it's great for players that want to play more passive and hold down power positions. I'd recommend using this gun basically like a human turret, especially on maps like Firing Range, where not only is it a lot more long range, but you have a lot more angles where you can wallbang with this gun. And in terms of skins, the mythic variant for this LMG is absolutely great. I use it all the time, but if you are a free-to-play player, good news, because the MG42 default iron sight is actually pretty solid. Up next at number 4 is the Odin. So this AR has been quite popular within the last few seasons, mainly because of the competitive influence. Although we don't see this AR much in ranked, it has been widely popularized by pro players in the comp scene. And you will see this gun quite often if you ever decide to tune in into a tournament match. A shameless little plug here, but I will be doing watch parties for the World Championship on my livestream channel. So make sure you guys check that out if you want to watch some pro competitive COD with me just yapping in the background. Anyways, back to the Odin. I would 100% recommend using this gun if you do have the mythic skin. It definitely is pay to win with the red dot sight, and especially because the default iron sight just looks hideous in my opinion. With the slower fire rate, this AR definitely shines in terms of time to kill and its long range cross mapping abilities. So if you have good positioning, this gun will help you hold down long range angles and shred your opponents across the map. Now onto the number 3 weapon on my list, which of course is the Type 19. Alright, so this is actually my current personal favorite AR, even both before and after the recent nerf. Without a doubt, the Type 19 is one of my current go-to weapons for when I want to sweat and use a more aggressive assault rifle. It gives me the freedom to play both passive and aggressive, which is just amazing. If I had to compare this AR with any other weapon, it would definitely be the Growl, but even better. So for any players who enjoy using the Growl, the Type 19 will feel really good to use. Although with the recent update, the Type 19 was in fact nerfed, this gun is still viable and actually a great choice of weapon with both a fast time to kill and fast fire rate. The recoil control is also very easy to learn, so the number 3 spot on this list is definitely well deserved in my opinion. I personally use the mythic Type 19 because of the red dot iron sight, but for free-to-play players, I would recommend substituting one attachment for that red dot because it really does help with the accuracy. And as much as I hate to say it, the Type 19 Mythic is slightly pay to win, but if you do have the skin, it is an absolute beast of an AR, and I would 100% recommend trying this gun out. Now, the number 2 weapon of Season 6 is none other than the HVK. As you guys may know, the HVK was nerfed in the most recent update, but of course, I had to try it out and see if it really was a significant buff or not. And let's just say I was nuking with this gun almost every single game. The HVK has a very easy recoil control pattern paired with its fast time to kill. The nerf just definitely didn't seem to have any major impact on the ranking for this weapon, as I had the HVK as my number 2 weapon of last season as well. I would recommend you guys to try the gun out for yourselves and see what you guys think. Obviously, I personally do feel like it didn't have a big change on the gun, But let me know how you guys feel about the weapon now. So before we get into the #1 weapon of the season, here are my top 3 honorable mentions that you guys might want to try out. First, we have the Fennec. Arguably the #1 SMG in the game, and personally, I prefer the Fennec over both the CX and the Switchblade. This SMG is actually my most used weapon in ranked this season, even ahead of guns like the DRH and the HVK. Which I think just means if I can consistently hit leaderboard using an SMG during an AR meta, so can you. And this is definitely the gun to do it with. So for all you aggressive SMG users, the Fennec is the go-to. Another honorable mention is actually the Man-O-War Thermite round. This AR paired with the Thermite round attachment can definitely cause some smash devices. But the reason why I actually really enjoy using this weapon, besides the fact that you can basically kill players behind walls and after you die, is actually its ability to take down score streaks and operators. So we all know how annoying ballistic shield users are, but the Man-O-War can beam down Goliaths and choppers with ease. So it's definitely an AR to have in your loadout for specific moments like those. Last but not least, we have another honorable mention, the SKS. This marksman has been the best marksman in the game for years, and for a good reason. It has the ability to 2-tap to the body and 1-tap to the head, meaning if you have mastered this weapon and how to spam tap to shoot, you will become an absolute monster in ranked. But it's not on the top 5 list because it is a harder weapon to learn for beginners, and at the moment, the current meta just completely overshadows the SKS. We have most ARs 3-tapping to 2-tapping to the head, so it slightly takes away the room to use an SKS. Now finally, the #1 weapon of Season 6. By no surprise, it is still the DRH. This AR has dominated both ranked and competitive scene for quite some time now, both with and without the OTM mags. In the recent update, COD Mobile didn't decide to nerf this gun, meaning it is still the top AR in the game, especially paired with the 25 OTM mag. This gun is still an absolute beam, allowing you to 2-tap headshot across the map, although it has a slightly slower fire rate compared to other weapons. But don't worry, the time to kill makes up for it completely, even in closer range situations. You can still get away with a lot using this gun, so definitely would recommend for both beginners and advanced players that want to climb leaderboard. And no wonder both OTM mags are banned in comp, which is also why this gun is so dominant, because although the 2 OTM attachments are currently banned, this AR is still one of the most used guns in the pro scene. So I guess you can say the DRH will remain the #1 gun in COD Mobile for at least another season. Alright guys, so that basically wraps up my top 5 guns list of Season 6. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments what you guys might change to my list, or if I'm missing